Crude talk. The world of oil is shrouded in secrecy, with powerful corporations and governments going to great lengths to protect their interests. One of the most insidious ways that they do this is through the use of corporate espionage. Oil companies routinely hire private investigators and security firms to spy on their competitors, steal trade secrets, and engage in other nefarious activities. Oil espionage is not a new phenomenon, but it has become more sophisticated in recent years. The rise of digital technology has made it easier for hackers and cybercriminals to infiltrate computer systems and steal sensitive information. In addition, oil-producing countries have been accused of using espionage to gain an advantage in international negotiations and to manipulate the global oil market. The consequences of oil espionage can be severe. It can threaten global energy security by disrupting the supply of oil and gas, leading to price spikes and shortages. It can also compromise the safety and security of oil infrastructure, putting workers and nearby communities at risk. One of the most notorious examples of oil espionage was the 2010 case of the Russian spy ring that was discovered in the United States. The spies, who had been operating in the U.S. for over a decade, were accused of trying to gain access to sensitive information about U.S. energy policy, including plans for new oil and gas pipelines. But it's not just governments that engage in oil espionage. Corporations are also guilty of using these tactics to gain an advantage over their competitors. In 2013, the Chinese oil company Sinopec was accused of hiring a private investigator to spy on its competitor, Chinese National Petroleum Corporation, in order to steal trade secrets. To combat oil espionage, governments and corporations must take a more proactive approach to protect sensitive information. This includes investing in cybersecurity measures to protect computer systems from hackers and other cybercriminals. It also means being more transparent about energy policies and negotiations to reduce the need for espionage. In addition, governments and international organizations should work together to create stronger regulations and laws to punish those who engage in oil espionage. This includes holding individuals and corporations accountable for their actions and imposing sanctions on countries that engage in these activities. The use of espionage to gain an advantage in the oil industry is a severe threat to global energy security. It undermines trust and stability in the industry and can have severe economic and environmental consequences. By working together to combat oil espionage, we can create a more transparent and sustainable energy future for all. Furthermore, oil espionage can have a significant impact on developing countries, particularly those in Africa. Many African nations rely heavily on oil exports for their economic growth and development. However, these countries are often at a disadvantage when negotiating with powerful multinational corporations and oil-producing nations. In some cases, African governments have been accused of using espionage to gain an advantage in negotiations and to secure more favorable terms for their countries. For example, in 2019, the Nigerian government was accused of hiring a private security firm to surveil foreign oil companies operating in the country. However, more often than not, African countries are the victims of oil espionage. In 2014, the South Sudanese government accused Sudan of stealing oil from its territory using pipelines and other infrastructure. In response, South Sudan hired a private investigator to gather evidence of the theft, which they then presented to the international community. Oil espionage is a complex issue that requires a multifaceted approach to solve. It is not enough to simply invest in cybersecurity or increase transparency. We must also address the underlying power imbalances that drive espionage in the first place. This means giving developing countries a stronger voice in international negotiations and ensuring that multinational corporations are held accountable for their actions. It also means investing in renewable energy sources and reducing our dependence on fossil fuels, which will make the oil industry less attractive to spies and criminals. In conclusion, oil espionage is a serious threat to global energy security that cannot be ignored. It is up to governments, corporations, and individuals to take action to protect sensitive information and ensure a more transparent and sustainable energy future for all. Thanks for watching.